It is one of the most widely used metals on Earth.
The global demand for this resource, which is significant today and going to be much more significant in the months and years ahead. And to have a third of the relative to the global reserves, to have a third of that resource present right here in Saskatchewan, that's a significant discussion. It's not just the products that we are producing that are significant, but it's how we are producing those products that are significant. And I think it's a real opportunity for, as I say, the community and surrounding area of Tisdale, but also our province, our nation, and for the world to be able to access a product like this from a secure and reliable, ethical and sustainable trading partner. And there aren't very many countries that meet all of those criteria today.
Canadian Energy Metals Corporation announced on January 29, 2026, the results of a preliminary economic assessment confirming one of the world's largest alumina deposits discovered in Saskatchewan. The Thor project contains 6.8 billion tons of alumina within 49.5 billion tons of ore near Tisdale in east-central Saskatchewan. This represents approximately 1/3 of the known world supply of alumina, concentrated in an area spanning roughly 600 square kilometers. Christopher Hopkins, President and Chief Executive Officer of Canadian Energy Metals, described the discovery as a possible game changer for North America's aluminum supply chain. The deposit is Canada's first major domestic alumina resource and marks a significant shift in the global critical minerals landscape. The Thor project site spans 2,557 square kilometers in the Tisdale area. Hopkins emphasized the concentrated nature of the find, stating the deposit is held within a project area of about 16 miles by 16 miles, roughly the size that would fit inside the metropolitan area of Edmonton. The discovery contains 50 billion tons of critical minerals total, including close to 7 billion tons of alumina plus scandium and vanadium, which are important minerals used in alloy production. Unlike typical alumina sources, the ore near Tisdale is not bauxite, but instead polymetallic black shale. The preliminary economic assessment found the resource ranges from 20 meters to 50 meters below the surface in areas already drilled, though deposits dip deeper to the west and south. The discovery hole for this resource was first drilled in May 2022. Hopkins stated that anything that moves products, transmits power, or stores energy uses aluminum. Most of the world's aluminum comes from China, but that is not considered a secure supply chain anymore. Canada currently produces aluminum at about 3 to 4% of global consumption, making it not a large producer in that context. The preliminary economic assessment, prepared by 2 leading engineering firms, outlines substantial economic potential. The modeled internal rate of return is 72% after tax, with a net present value of cash flows at $72.3 billion US, discounted at 10% after tax. Hopkins stated the potential cash flows are very large, identifying the net present value of the conceptual project could be $70 billion over a 25-year period. Economic assumptions include initial capital expenditures of $6.3 billion US, operating costs of $1.6 billion US per year, and product price assumptions of $5,000 US per ton for chemical grade alumina and $25,000 US per ton for high purity alumina. The financial model contemplates a surface mining and processing operation with an average throughput of 16.5 million tons per year of ore feed, supporting alumina production of 1.8 million tons per year over a 25-year project life. Hopkins stated there is enough resource in the ground to mine for more than 2,000 years at 50,000 tons per day. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe stated the Thor project discovery pairs the province's pro-mining investment policies with a substantial geological advantage. The government is excited about the prospect of a new alumina industry, setting up shop in the province where people are ready for more jobs and investment from around the world. Moe indicated the project has the potential to rival potash or other minerals in the province, and could make aluminum one of Saskatchewan's main exports. Based on current projections, if developed and commercialized, the Thor project has the potential to create an entirely new processing and value-added industry for Saskatchewan and North America. The construction and operations could support high-paying jobs, royalty and tax revenues, and spur regional economic growth for decades. Tisdale Mayor Mike Hill stated the Thor project positions the region in the forefront of Canada's alumina and critical mineral supply chain. The impact of the discovery will be welcome, as agriculture will remain the foundation, but the community is ready to embrace new opportunities. Hill described it as Canada's first major domestic alumina resource, an achievement with national and global significance. From a geopolitical perspective, the Thor project has the potential to position Canada as a secure North American source of alumina, providing a long-term alternative to imported bauxite and strengthening critical supply chains. The project is located near the center of North America in Saskatchewan, regarded as one of the best mining jurisdictions in the world. The site has well-developed infrastructure, including power, roads, and services. CN and CPKC rail lines stretch across the property, along with natural gas and electrical transmission lines. 2 hydroelectric dams totaling 544 megawatts are located near the town of Nipawin. Hopkins noted that rail has the capacity to move any quantity wanted to any market in North America and beyond, providing transport to both coasts. Canadian Energy Metals has successfully produced 3N chemical-grade alumina and 4N high-purity alumina. The company is recovering very high-purity alumina, up to 99.991%. Additional metallurgical and process testing is underway, specifically with respect to smelter-grade alumina, scandium, and vanadium. Hopkins and Moe both emphasized the environmental advantages of the discovery. The processes developed with engineering firm Hatch demonstrate strong economic and environmental advantages over producing alumina from bauxite. Hopkins stated this would be the greenest aluminum on Earth available, designed on the principles of low carbon and high environmental, social, and governance approach. Canada uses hydroelectric power to smelt alumina into aluminum, making it a green element. The metals targeted are essential to Canada's advancement in aerospace, defense, and sustainable energy. In terms of the metal, alumina is considered the most sought-after major mineral in the context of the transition from hydrocarbons to electric use. The efficiencies needed require lightweight materials, and aluminum is a lightweight metal, making it highly sought after. Canadian Energy Metals acquired buildings in Tisdale and Land, where the company anticipates installing a demonstration plant. The year 2026 will be spent evaluating the resource. Hopkins stated it is not the company's ambition to build a large mine and processing complex, as that is not within their abilities, and they would expect a major mining company to develop it. The company recognizes the importance of collaborating with local Indigenous communities to integrate their perspectives into development plans, including equity discussions. Canadian Energy Metals has met regularly with community leadership to gain an understanding of their economies and is working with them to develop employment and retention plans as the project develops. Canadian Energy Metals was incorporated in 2021 to focus on the exploration of mineral claims it acquired in East Central Saskatchewan. The company is a private entity with an unencumbered 100% interest in the Thor project. However, significant questions remain about the project's development timeline and economic viability. The preliminary economic assessment is preliminary in nature and includes inferred mineral resources that are considered too speculative geologically to have economic considerations applied that would enable them to be categorized as mineral reserves. There's no certainty that the preliminary economic assessment will be realized. Until mineral deposits are actually mined and processed, mineral resources must be considered as estimates only. Mineral resource estimates that are not mineral reserves have not demonstrated economic viability. The company continues to evaluate project scenarios, sensitivities, and risks associated with the assumptions applied. Canadian Energy Metals' 2026 objectives include updating the mineral resource estimate based on the successful 2025 drill program, confirming the potential for new products and byproducts, including smelter-grade alumina, scandium, and vanadium, preparing a pre-feasibility study including engineering the design of a commercial demonstration plant, and pursuing opportunities to advance, finance, and monetize the Thor project. The preliminary economic assessment highlights Thor as a deposit of major scale within the alumina sector. The PEA mineral resource estimate includes a measured and indicated resource of 49.5 billion tons, containing 6.8 billion tons of alumina, with an inferred resource of 86.6 billion tons, containing additional alumina. Former Saskatchewan Party MLA Kevin Doherty, who is a director with Canadian Energy Metals, called this an exciting announcement for the province of Saskatchewan, the community of Tisdale, and all of Saskatchewan. The discovery comes at a time when global demand for aluminum is rising due to electric vehicle production, renewable energy infrastructure, aerospace manufacturing, and military equipment needs. Hopkins stressed during the news conference that the announcement was not about cracking open a big mine and development complex immediately. Long-term, the project offers a source of economic activity for the area, and because of its scale, offers economic activity for the rest of Saskatchewan and Canada as a major resource. If successfully developed and commercialized, the Thor project could reshape global aluminum markets and shift the balance of industrial power for decades to come. The discovery positions Canada as a potential dominant supplier to the United States and allied nations, reducing dependence on foreign aluminum sources and strengthening North American manufacturing capacity in critical sectors.